Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about another section about the Drupal certification program developer. So last section I talked about the certification of the Drupal 8 site builder. In this section, I will talk about the certification of Drupal 8 developer. So I'm going to talk about fundamental web development and talk about site building a little bit. And then I will talk about the front-end development. And the last one, the back-end development. Have time, Lucian? Good. It's developer. So it's just a main requirement from the Acquia website. The basic stuff there. You have to use a module, you have programming, do some code, blah, 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 something like that. Okay. Fundamental web development concept. This part is very important because I got not too many, but I still got questions there. No HTML tags. You don't have to know everything, but you must know something. Like something I got a question about, it's called summary details, and that's new in HTML5. Here's a CSS Selector. Here's a basic rule you should understand. Everything the ID have 100 score, and class name have 10, and tag has 1. So I got a question. They gave different selector style sheet. Which one will be applied on the page. So you have to calculate the score for each of them. Right now, I have an example. My ID, my first, class name, sticky, and we have a lead tag. So we have 111 score. Second one, we have 2 IDs, so there were 200 scores. So the second one will be applied on the web page. Here's the important property in the CSS. There's very details in the Drupal document. They have lots of rules about use. Just read the document and understand what's the important thing. Another is CSS Combinators. Understand what's meaning about it and what's the feature about this format there. JavaScript. The new thing for the Drupal 8, they use library. Everybody should know a library in the assets in the Drupal JavaScript and style sheet definitions. So we'll talk about this is code, just a simple code. You can use the library to define your exact style sheet well. And the good things, when you add something, for example, my complaints triggers JS, I just need in one block, so I don't have to load this JS into whole page or everywhere. It's just a load in a block. That's the benefit from the Drupal 8. So here's the 3 methods to add the libraries to the site. One is a global thing. You just add everything in the my theme info YAML file. That's global thing that every page will be loaded the same JS. The second one is it's the same as functions. Now it's called my theme dot theme. You use a process node, process page, process whatever to load this one. This is the basic stuff. It's a code, but you must understand because you will be face a question about something like that. Trick template. Let's say we have more time. Okay. Okay. One thing about the strict mode. I got a question about this one. What's the strict mode? What's meaning? It's very important. It's a new JS standard. So understand. Here just some demo thing. It's boring, totally boring. This is library. That's attached library in a template. This one is JavaScript. You have to follow this format. You give the function, Drupal window document. You have a jQuery behavior, Drupal, everything in the middle of the page. That's the standard Drupal. I got one question. They give a block of code here, like this one, and ask what's wrong with it. Just you have to find what's wrong with the code. It's not something like a logic or if else or condition. It's just how to use a jQuery in a Drupal way. Site building. That means the first part, site builder, will be tested again in the developer. So you have to learn site building thing. Here's a couple of things I think is important, very important. So what's the difference between content entity and configuration entity? So you have to understand what's the field type and how to use the field type. I'll also talk about it a little bit. It's contextual filter in the view, relationship in the view. This is new thing. It's what's the RESTful services. You guys maybe know it's post, get, patch, delete, update, a bunch of things. Yeah. Here are things, besides the concept of the RESTful, you have to know how to use a PHP program to get, post, patch, delete, how to use a JS code, or even just command line C URL. Front-end developer is the same issue. It's basic. You must do something on your dev site. Create a thing, create something. I got a question about the stable and the classy basic things. They just ask a question: what's the best solution to create a theme with most clean style sheet and JS? Until now, I don't know the answer. I'm not sure I answer correct, but they give some option like this one, stable, classy, or whatever.
You should never use stable.
Do you know what's the difference, stable and classy? Yeah, it's called. It's everything Drupal say based on stable and or classy. What's the difference? Stable is a minist setup. No like a class name, no ID name in the tag. But the classy have many basic Drupal like field. The class name equal to field or whatever, something like that. So I got a question for this one. They gave another option is a code, is a line of code. I don't understand the code. So I'm not sure I answered correctly at that time. How to use a breakpoint module. I believe I got one question about breakpoint. Just go to the module and read the document, you can understand. I have some examples, next page. Okay, a many question about theme about the variables, filters, function in a twig, like array, objects, conditional, looping, and commenting, setting. I didn't get any question about the macros. It's the main in the twig, but I didn't get a question. I believe it must be in the test library, so take time to learn it. How to override twig template means use your own template. It's very simple. Go to it's called the services YAML file to turn on. Then you can use dump, whatever, in the code. And it also will give you theme suggestions. In you view source code on the page, you give a list of the suggestion about the templates, so you can create your custom template there. Good. Here's the code. Yeah, here's still libraries. Regions is a basic thing. You have to define file. You must understand each item. Most of top of them are required. Others just optional. But like regions, it's very important. I got one question about the region, so you have to go through everything. This is a trick template example. We have like if, else. We have the filter. The vertical line is a filter. We have a function, I believe. Yeah, this is a function, like many links, call function, a bunch of things. It's like a general code. You can write a lot of things there. Backend, it will be very boring, more boring. I mean, object-oriented file structure. I have nothing special to talk right now because you have to go to code. You can understand what's the like namespace, how to define a class, how to extend, how to implement interface, all kind of thing. One thing I got one question about called the config factory. That's you have create like a factory class to extend this one. So that's why we give a block of code, and you have to choose one of them is correct. PHP namespace. Here's some some special thing. You can use the same name, same function name, same class name, but you can use a namespace to separate them. Then module 1, module 2, so we have no conflict. I got one question about this such thing here. Custom module, create a YAML file, do something. Controller is not a big issue. You have to understand this is the basic of the developer. If you don't understand controller, you will be failed test. This is routing YAML file. 3 of them is very, very basic for the Drupal 8 developer. You must do something for your code. Try to understand and do something. Data storage and database API is code very boring. So here's a story we have. What are the differences between static query and dynamic query? Do you not have idea about this one? Programming? Yeah, but here's the statements from Drupal. 90% of the select query are use static query. So dynamic query is safe, very powerful and flexible, but have some performance issue. So if something, this is from Drupal site. Here's just an example. I'll show you here. You create object, query object. You can just add a field, join table, define new condition, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Block API. Here's the annotation I'm talking about. I will show you the code. Okay, here is the part. What's the annotation? This part, not this part, the whole part. It looks like a comments, but no, it's called annotation. So you define your block here. Like you go to the Drupal 7, you just define ID, flags, block. So here is the ID you define element labels, whatever. This is a translation function call. Must be for the class. This is the format to use the class, flags, block, blah, blah, blah. And that's annotation I'm talking about. It's very, very complex, so it can be another session. I mean, annotation is a big project. I just let you know what's exactly the annotation. It's called annotation class discovery. In the core, they use this discovery to find your new block. Like I define a new block, my block 1, my block 2, then we'll be use this one. how to and when use a block plugin API, block entity API. How to create a custom block in a custom module. One thing is called a plugin system in Drupal 8. It's totally new in Drupal 8. Block is a plugin. The fields, customer fields, is a blocking. Maybe a customer content type, contact form is a plugin. A lot of thing about plugin. Even you can just build a Josh, customer Josh command. It can be a plugin. So it's a small pieces of functionality use whatever its definition. Field widget, like something you can configure the field in the content type. That's plugin. Entity MPI, this is a big issue. Understand the fundamental building block of Drupal 8. Configuration entity is a definition. Okay, another content entity. Okay, bundle is a configuration entity I mentioned before. Entity subtypes. I have some examples next slide. I'm working with entity MPI. Here's something you will be asked question, give some code like this one. How to check this object is an instant of the entity. So you have to use something like that. Get entity type, access, entity URL, entity same. The entity same most for the content type, it should be node save. Same thing for the content type, but not for user. So if user, you cannot work for the node save. Now this is a entity create, just line code. You give create a node, array, pass array, title, something else. And also you can other thing you can create a user node create. It's the same thing. Here is config entity base. That part. And from here start from top. That's annotation. You can say a lot of things. Define the controller. Define the keys, links, like the page links, admin links, other stuff there. This is a content entity, that's a configuration entity. So most of part are the same, but have some special thing. Router provider, entity key in the base table, field table, a couple of things different. Since I should end a form API. If you know Drupal 7 form, it's perfect. So you can reuse most of the knowledge from the Drupal 7. Form API, not change the many, but just to change to object-oriented programming approach. This is a basic form you have to use. Extend or implement is configure form base, confirm form base, form base, 3 things. Here's a basic, very basic form. Whenever you create something, you have to use a get function, get form, build form, a validate form, and submit form. It's basic. Whenever you need something, it will be broken. Maybe validated form can be. No, we have to use them. 4 of them are basic. Form routing. That's how to get a form. Services and dependency injection. I believe you guys heard a lot of things about the dependency injection. This very advanced feature in the Drupal. So what's dependency injection? Any idea? Oh, cool. That's right. Give an example will be perfect. just some demo here. Here's demo right now. This is the aliens module. Aliens module manager, implement blah blah blah. Constructor here right now. That part is what you're talking about. Dependency injection. That means you don't have to create a new object in this construct. You just pass something, but must be this object or this object. So you can reuse everything. So this is a basic setting for the factory pattern. Do you know, guys, design pattern? The factory pattern is most popular in the Drupal because it's so you have to use you have to build a factory to build even the Ford, USV or Toyota Camry. So you don't have to create object, but you have to build everything in a factory, not in a Ford, not in a Toyota, so something like that. So it's very powerful. Make time to learning it and understand it and use it. So here's the definition. I will not read. Okay. Event. I didn't get any question about event, dispatcher, or subscribe, but it's also the core of the Drupal. Whenever you can like log something, give a notice, send email to admin, everything about is the events, dispatching, and subscribing. So create a module, do something, and learn something. So I'll skip this one. Other APIs I feel important for the test. Manual API, of course. Should understand links. What's links? What's local task? What's local action? What's local action? Do you know any idea? Okay. Logging API, how to use the logging API to log your message on the log file. Routing system. Code stand and performance. I got a couple of questions about them. Code stand, give a story, give a block of code, and let you choose what's wrong with this code. I have to choose correct answer from there. Performance. Yeah, cache is related to cache, but it's programming. Now I got very similar. It gave a block of code like this one, and ask question about this part cache. So something here, give some code and ask me this question. I'm not sure I answered correct or not. Until now, I don't understand details about this one. So that's question, similar question about this cache in the code, in a random array. Code performance module, security, a lot of things about security. And I just to mention something, maybe will be happen in the test. So whatever is still the most important thing for the website. I just went to a session before, talk about a lot of things about security. Very, very nice. Yes, how this is like a new feature. Give a question. How Drupal 8 make the website more secure. Give 4, 5 choice options. You just have to choose multiple choice, not one, maybe 3 or 4. So you have to choose of them. Centralized input. Use a bunch of things. I got one question about the centralized input. You must know some escape, HTML escape, a couple things there. Database abstraction, that's query injection. File permission. I believe I got one question about file permission. It's about the read-write on the default files, private files directory, I believe. And the secure configuration, a secure user with the UID equal 1. That's most of things. Everybody, not everybody, lots of things use, a lot of websites use like admin as username password. Okay. Have time. Okay, well, the end of the section. Resources. This book, highly recommend you guys buy this book. It's the second edition right now. Another book. This is a big book. It covers 3 things: learning Drupal, Drupal developer cookbook, but it's a first edition. It's hard. So this is why I recommend this one. And another is a theme. This is a book. So thank you so much. Any question?